Thanks for joining me today. What we've got is this air conditioning refill kit straight off of Amazon. I'll put links in the description. And what we're going to do is regas the 107. So in the kit you get a pressure gauge and you get the can of refrigerant. This is the R134A, which is the environmental friendly stuff. The gauge looks quite nice. It's quite tidy. It's got a nice little it's got a couple of little adapters on it there. That's the important one. That's the one that we need to go onto the car. This end, you screw it onto the can in a minute, and then you wind down the pin on the end there and it pierces the top of the tin. Right, let's go for it. Right, so let's take a reading to start with. We've got the infrared thermo gauge here. Let's fire it up. Car's completely cold. The gauges at the minute are reading 31 degrees, that one is at the minute, because it's obviously sunny, the sun's been on it. We've come into the car, we'll make sure the blowers are on. We'll put them on to 2 to start with. We'll press the air conditioning and you should hear the engine note change and a little clunk. The fans have also kicked in now in the front. Let's go for, let's go max. Let's max it out. Let's have it on forward blowing. Wow, coming down already, look. So we'll let that cool down for a couple of minutes and we'll see how cold we can actually get it. And then we'll do another test and we can go from there when we put the new gas in. So it's been running for a good 5 minutes or so. You can see there we're down to 9.2, 9.4. There you go, 9.4, 9.2. So we've reached maximum coolness on this one at 9.2 degrees. Let's regas it and see if we can get it down a bit more. Okay, so now we're under the bonnet. On the right hand side of the engine you can see these two pipes coming across here. These are air conditioning pipes. The smaller pipe is the high pressure side, the larger pipe is the low pressure side. Low pressure is the one we want to go to. So we literally just unscrew the plastic cap off the top there, which shows us the valve. We need to unscrew this valve all the way. Get this can of refrigerant there. We screw that in there. Screw it down nice and tight. Back it off just a tiny bit. So we clip that back in. Pull that up, press it on. We're now going to start the car up, put the air conditioning on. What you'd expect to see here is as the compressor kicks in and starts to pressurise the gas on the high pressure side, it's drawing from the low pressure side, so the needle there should drop down like that. You can just see how that's dropped down. It's right at the bottom of the green though. You can see now how the pressure's dropped off there. So what we'll do now is screw down the pin and turn the can upside down. And then unscrew the pin, which will allow the gas to start coming back into the system. And you can see that's gone up straight away, look. The only trouble is the gauge is not working correctly now. The maximum line there, it's not going out of the green, it's still staying there, and yet I'm letting more and more gas into the system. So I'm blind as to how much is actually going in. It's just not reading correctly. Feel the can getting colder. So unbeknown to me at this point, I'm actually overfilling the air conditioning system. And what happens in a moment could be really, really costly. That's almost all gone. think that's everything's gone out of the can now. It does feel light. I'll screw the noggin back in again. Now straight away I know there's a problem there. The compressor hissed when it kicked in. And I'm thinking, what the heck? That didn't sound right. The engine's really struggling. Doesn't sound right. It's clunking in and out really quickly. So I'm thinking now, straight away, the warning bells are sounding. I've got to get some of that gas out of the system. I just know it's not right. So just check inside. I'm just having a quick feel at the blowers. I'm just checking the dashboard, see if we've got any management lights on. Which there isn't at the moment, but I'm thinking this is definitely not good. If I don't get the pressure out there, I'm going to blow the seals in the compressor. Which, you know, or a seal from the condenser or anywhere in the system. It's going to cause a lot of problems. So I'm thinking at this moment I've just got to get enough gas out of there and hopefully it'll start to sound normal again. So I'm trying to think how much gas was in that can. If I just release some of it, can I take a measurement with this gauge? No, because the gauge is a one-hit wonder, it doesn't work. So I'm looking at the gauge and it's showing us nothing. So I've just got to go with a guess and try and get as much gas out as I can without going too far, hoping that it's going to sound normal in a moment. So I keep taking the gas out. I'm just pressing that valve, just extinguishing the gas out of the system, and it's come back down again. You can now hear it's not binging in and out really quickly. The engine sounds normal again. I'm thinking at this point, relief. Have I managed to save it? Have I managed to get the gas out quick enough without causing any major damage to the car? I'll let just a little bit more out just to be on the safe side. I'll just go inside, check it again, make sure it's still blowing cold air, which it is. The one problem you've got with this kit is it's got a one-time use gauge on it. So once it's gone up to its marker, that's the end of it. It doesn't work anymore, which is a bit of a pain because you can't read, check it, you don't know what's going on. So as you could see from that, we had a few problems, didn't we? This gauge is rubbish. It really is crap. It's a one-time gauge, but that's no good. Especially like what I did then was overfilled it. So once it got up, I didn't know how much was in it. It didn't go any higher than what we thought it, but there was definitely too much gas in there because it knocked the engine, it knocked the compressor. You could hear the compressor wincing, which is why I then reduced the gas to get it back down to, you know, so it sounded okay. It's still cooling all right, but we don't know if we've damaged anything. You know, it's one of those. What I'm going to do is get a different system. I'm going to get one with a gauge that works more than once, and we'll retest it and retry it. So following the disaster we had yesterday trying to regas this air conditioner, although did it need regassing, it had got a lot of gas in there, just wanted to give it that little bit extra. But because of the gauge on this system being a one-hit wonder, literally you can only use it once, the needle won't return. It's terrible because you can't get an accurate reading. You just don't know what's going on with the system once you've put gas in, because even when we were trying to put that gas in, the needle wasn't moving correctly. So extremely poor. I wouldn't use this again. I wouldn't recommend using that. But what I have done is gone on to Amazon. Don't forget this was 50 quid, and found something unbelievable really. You can buy this little gadget here, which is in essence the same thing, slightly better made, and it's only £13. So it's as cheap as chips, and it is nice metal ends on it. We've got the gauge the same, but this one returns to 0 and you can use it multiple times, and it takes the same cans as what this does. It turns out you can buy these cans of refrigerant for 20 quid a can. So all in all, for a decent gauge and a can, it would have cost me like 35 quid. You know, and I paid 50. So now let's see what we can do with this. Let's lock that off. So we'll screw that all the way down like that. We'll pop off the cap on the system, and hopefully we can get a reading on it, because we let that gas out because it was jamming everything up and it was over pressurizing. I let some gas out of there, but we don't know how much is in there, although it's still reading 9 degrees on the vents, which is still pretty cold. I don't know how much is in the system. So now we can check it with this, we'll get a read, and if we need to put more in, we can fill it, or it may be okay. Wowzers, it's gone all the way round off the scale. Jesus. So, we've really got too much in there, haven't we? Okay, now you can see that there as I'm letting that gas out. We've got absolutely loads in there. So we must have really overfilled it. Okay, let's fire the car up and just see what happens. So ideally with this, the needle on the gauge there should be at the lower end of the red scale before we activate the compressor, and then that's banging it in. I think if I'm sort of somewhere top end of the yellow to the sort of low end of the red before we fire the compressor in, that's going to be about right. 65 to 70 psi. Okay, so that's showing us at about 30, 35, 36. So according to the instructions, 33 to 38 is absolutely fine if it's working and it's blowing cold air out. So I'm pretty happy with that. We are working, or it seems to be. Let's just jump inside and get the thermo gauge on it again, and we'll just check the temperature coming out of the blowers. As you can see there, we've got 9.4, 9.2, so it's exactly the same as it was originally. I've just knocked it off. You can see the gauge is just rising up. I'm hoping that's now going to settle top end of the yellow, just sort of, yeah, just beginning of the red, so somewhere around about 70 psi. If it stops around about there, then I'm going to be happy with that. That shouldn't give us any problems with blowing seals and stuff. And actually this is the following day, and it hasn't lost any pressure overnight, so I think we might have got away with not damaging the compressor or any seals within the system because it's still maintaining pressure. See, that's just creeping into the, like, up to the 70 psi, just into the first section of the red there, which on rest, engine's hot, everything's good. It's not going to get any more pressure in the low side than that. That is max. That's the maximum we should be getting. It's stable. It's holding nicely. Let's turn it back on again. So maybe I've just let a tad too much out of there. This is taking a reading, or the reading is working when the air conditioning's on. So when it's switched off, the needle's shooting right up, but it's not. That's not the correct reading. That's not the one we want to be using. We want to know when the system is in use, when it's been run, where this needle is at the moment. It's just it's okay. It's within the right zone, if you like. But I think we just need to put a little bit more in there. It's nicely cold inside though. So with this new bit of kit, we can see where we are. It's exactly the same principle on this end. We would have screwed the can on, wind the pin in, pierce the can, unscrew it, fill and undo, same as. But now we know for a fact that everything is okay and that we've got the right amount of gas in there. And everything's working okay. If we turn the air conditioning off and leave the gauge connected, you can see the needle is rising That's absolutely fine, not a problem at all. It will probably end up round here somewhere. There you go, you see it's sort of up in the 70s now. Not a problem though. Let's disconnect that. Pop that back on. I'll pop links in the description for this newer, much more reliable gauge, and also the single cans of gas for £20. Absolutely fantastic. It's just such an easy way of filling your air conditioning system up. With this, you can check it again and again, and you know, the gauge isn't a one-hit wonder. It will just keep on being able to be reused. If it's been of use to you, drop me a little thumbs up, like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.